wonder if Mark Carney will end up with Adele after he's stepped down.
Are you very possibly? Or Beyonce. I mean, I don't know. The picture on every newspaper's front page at the beginning of this week was Katy Perry in a scarlet dress and Justin Trudeau, the former Prime Minister of Canada, in a black suit with a black T-shirt, at what was their formal coming out. It was the hard launch of their relationship. So Justin and Katy had been pictured canoodling on a yacht. There'd been rumours of their relationship beforehand, that Katy Perry's rock star career and Justin Trudeau's political comeback were going to collide in an explosion of news and gossip. And so it came to pass this week. Now, I don't know about you, Maddie, but do you think there is something incongruous about the coupling of a Canadian Prime Minister and an LA rock babe? Or do you think that actually it's a beautiful thing?
Well, I think it depends on the Canadian Prime Minister, really. If it was Mark Carney and Katy Perry, that would be a bit harder to get your head around. But actually, I think part of Justin Trudeau's one explanation for his ineptitude was actually that he often behaved more like a celebrity than a politician. He loved grandstanding and hand-wringing. Also got into trouble for stuff in much the same way that celebrities often do, things from his earlier life, his unfortunate habit of blacking up, which also felt fairly incongruous. So in some ways he was always more celebrity than politician, and I wonder if now he's leaning into that a bit more and it's embracing his true self.
I think you're absolutely right about Justin Trudeau, that he exemplified a type, a subset of politicians who do seem to have, in his case, a sort of boyish matinee idol look to them, and who do seem entirely at home in showbiz world. I don't know who the Brit equivalents would be. I'd be fascinated to know who you think manages to combine that zing and, I hesitate to say, charisma. My own criticism of Justin Trudeau is not that he gets to step out with Katy Perry. Good luck to him, good luck to her. It is that for the hard launch in Paris, he chose to wear a suit with a T-shirt.
Oh, I missed
this seems to me to be a crime, not just for former prime ministers, but for any man over the age of 30. T-shirts are for the beach, the gym, or the bedroom. If you are wearing a suit, please wear a proper shirt and tie. In Katy Perry's defence, she was wearing this stunning and, I thought, very beautiful scarlet dress. And I think that Justin, in order to be worthy of Katy, has got to smarten up. But whether or not you agree with me on the sartorial fail that Justin Trudeau was responsible for, are there any UK equivalents of Justin? Would you say, for example, Matt Hancock?
Well, I think I'm not sure who comes off worse in that comparison. I think Matt Hancock would be delighted to have this level of attention. But actually, I would say both of them are punching above their weight with women. So that's a similarity between Matt Hancock and the beautiful Gina Coladangelo and Trudeau Perry. When did politicians stop wearing a tie? Because I feel like it's been happening in a gradual process. When I was a child, I felt like it was mandatory, and there's been a general loosening and relaxation to a point now where Keir Starmer will often go to an important global summit wearing his like quite weird sort of geography teacher outfit, where it's like a kind of dark shirt, almost looking a bit sheeny, sort of like, I think maybe he's a Brit, sort of, he likes Oasis, so maybe he's a Brit pop element, kind of sheeny 90s shirt with a very similarly coloured jacket and no tie at all, which I think is a terrible look.
Well, the politician, the front rank politician who is now never seen with a tie, and indeed very rarely in a suit, is Andy Burnham. Who, again, I'm no judge of these things, but I suppose if there were a UK politician who were to have the Justin Trudeau look, the languorous eyelashes, the dark hair, and, as I say, the fondness for T-shirts and cash, it would be Andy Burnham. I think the broader...
And that slight sense of desperation as well, which is very important.
Well, again, your words. But the whole movement, the whole informality, again, I think, has a feel of the Britpop Blair years melding into the early coalition years. I thought the other great Paris fashion shot of last week, which shows that perhaps the tide is turning, is you may have seen a picture that went viral of the police outside the Louvre. And next to the police officers who were investigating the theft of the Bonaparte crown jewels, there was someone who was assumed to be a detective. In fact, it turns out was just a passing French citizen.
Oh, what a pity.
Who was there in an impeccable fedora, waistcoat, tie, tweed jacket. And the fact that that image went viral in admiration made me think that
there is hope.
That whatever one thinks of Justin Trudeau's good taste in girlfriends, his bad taste in fashion was shown up by this gentilhomme who was so debonair.
Yes. I love it when countries actually accord with your national stereotype. You know, when you go to Italy and you have these unbelievably, frankly, quite sexy attired. I don't know if they wouldn't be called the gendarmerie, obviously, but the equivalent.
Oh yes,
they tend to be. They wear very tight outfits, extremely camp outfits, which feels like quite an Italian thing to do, and they often kind of mooch around flexing their muscles in the town square, which again feels very Italian. It's not the classic comedy inept coppers of the Benny Hill show. It's not the British way. It feels distinctively Italian, and I'm just sad that this wasn't actually a real detective, because that would have been perfect if it turned out they actually had sort of Clouseau-ish figures populating the service. Or what's he called? René. Not Poirot. What's the French one? Maigret. There we go. Maigret.
I quite agree. I mean, and I think you're right. I think that French detectives should always be impeccably tailored and pomaded. Italian police officers, as you point out, you know, whether they're Bastiglieri or whatever, will be wearing figure-hugging body armour and stroking their carbines in the public square. British police officers, as you point out, far too often are the person who, if they were to appear on the football field, would be met with a cry of "Who ate all the pies?"
Yes.
You know, the British police, particularly at Macy, around the parliamentary estate, do look as though they've had several Twixes too many for most of their adult life.
They're more Chief Wiggum than the Thompson twins these days.
Completely.
Alas.
And I think that British detectives or police officers should be, Foyle's War style, suitably elegant. Of course, with Grantchester, we have a tradition of clerical detectives as well. Again, impeccably turned out. But that matching of profession with style, I think, sadly, no longer exists in the way that it should. And it comes back, of course, to the way in which politicians dress. Because, as you quite rightly point out, the increasing informality that exists everywhere means that for a subset of people in public life is less about public service than about saying to the public, "Hi, we do see I think a proper pride in appearance is a good thing. It's respectful to others, not to be slobbish. But you do have, as Justin Trudeau exemplifies, a streak of something that is closer to vanity or peacockery here. And I thought it was striking that when Nigel Farage was speaking at the Reform Conference, someone who's generally prided or who takes pride in being a bluff, tough Englishman, had a made-to-measure turquoise suit with Union Jack brogues and socks. And I got the sense then that maybe Nigel was succumbing ever so slightly to the lure of the grease paint.
Well, at the Reform Conference, he he turned up in a normal suit for his first address, and then for his second, he came on wearing that turquoise suit, and he pretended to kind of take it off. The crowd were loving it. It was, I don't know, it's very camp, and it's interesting to me that I know we did a fantastic cover by Gareth Roberts about the campness of Reform Conference, but I do think it's kind of interesting because it's the only conference that feels American in that way, that feels more like an RNC or a DNC, like a big public, quite pantomime in places event. The only party that feels comfortable enough in itself to actually pull it off at the moment is Reform UK. And I think that's kind of actually explains part of their success in the same way that Trump's campness, I think, is also crucial to his success. Earlier on, you said about, to take it back to Katy Perry, Justin Trudeau, you said that it was a hard launch, which interests me because that sort of implies that it's almost like not a real relationship. It's is that how you think? It's a PR type thing. It's like the launch of a new iPhone rather than two people just out at an event together.
No, I do think it's a real relationship, but I think the thing is that they're both so media conscious that for both of them, for Justin Trudeau, having lost office. I mean, obviously his successor Mark Carney went on to win the general election, but having sort of bundled out of office is a bit of an embarrassment to the Canadian Liberal Party. He wants to show that there's life in the old.
I wonder if Mark Carney will end up with Adele after he's stepped up.
Are you very possibly? Or Beyonce, and I don't know. But there is also something about the terminal tedium which is associated with Canada, and in particular with Canadian politics, having this injection of glamour. But the other thing is also, you probably know better than me, whether or not Katy Perry feels slightly last decade.
Well, I'm the wrong person to ask. I mean, I probably know less current music than... You have children of the right age, so you probably know more than me.
No, I think they're probably less Katy Perry fans, but I think for me, I think the really interesting combo would be if you were to get, I don't know, David Lammy and Lily Allen together. I know David Lammy is very happily married. No aspersions being cast there. Terribly sorry. But I think, I
Lily Lammy is a great name, though.
Exactly. I can't think what the perfect sort of Brit equivalent of Justin and Katy would be. Again, it might be the case that if you had, I don't know, Bridget Phillipson and Harry Styles.
Oh my God.
That might be.
He does love an older lady.
Well, there you go. That might be the combo. And again, I don't know if one were to get, for the sake of argument, Tom Tugendhat and Chapel Roan. I don't know. With
I'm not sure he's her type.
No. The possibilities are endless. I hope that our listeners will let us know what they think would be the best pop politics pairing that you could have. It would be intriguing to find out. Or do you think that this is just a relevant slop and that we should be getting back to discussing the deficit and what Rachel Reeves should do about it? Anyway, there'll be an opportunity for you to let us know, and we look forward to you joining us again next week.